Hello, I'm Dr. T, and welcome to How to Invest in UK Property. In this video, we ask, should you be buying your investment property in the north of England or near London and the south? When investing in property, you don't have to buy in the area you live in, unless you're going to manage the property yourself. In most cases, you'll have an agent managing your property, so you can buy anywhere to get the best overall investment returns. So where is best? Is it the north or the south? I'll cover the pros and cons of each and give you my personal view at the end. Before we start, please remember to like this video, subscribe, and comment below. And here's a bit from our channel sponsor, FindUKProperty.com, which is a business I founded 17 years ago.
Hi, Find UK Property provides property solutions for passive investors, delivering net rent and long-term growth with no costs or liabilities for the owner. Please visit our website at findukproperty.com or watch the videos at the end.
So what are the factors you need to consider before deciding whether to buy investment property in the north or in the south? Well, these are really the same things you would consider for any investment property purchase. The main one is investment return, and this consists of the rental yield and the capital growth in value. The other factors include affordability, risk, mortgage considerations, and flexibility. For a good investment, the total investment return, that's rental yield and capital growth added together, should be over 10% per year. Let's look at the percentage rental yield and compare the north and south. In the south, demand for houses is higher than supply, and both prices and rents are much higher. An average two-bed investment property in the south may give double the gross rent of around £12,000 per year, compared with gross rent of just £6,000 per year from a similar property in the north. So rents per property are double in the south. However, at just £75,000 average price, the property in the north is 4 times cheaper than the south, which costs over £300,000 for the same two-bed. When you compare the rent to the price, I mean £6,000 rent out of £75,000 investment, then the gross yield is 8% in the north, compared to £12,000 rent out of £300,000 property, which is a yield of just 4% in the south. So with a budget of £300,000, you could buy 4 houses in the north compared with just 1 in the south. So your total rent for the 4 houses together in the north is £24,000. So actually, properties in the north give better rent, almost double the rent for the same property value. You can see this on this chart, which shows approximate rental yields in different areas of the UK. However, net yield may be less than double in the north because properties in the south would have lower maintenance costs, because for the same budget, you would have to maintain less properties in the south. Also, as the south is more affluent with higher rental demand, your property is less likely to be vacant and you may have less tenant issues. Now let's talk about capital growth. Many clients think that capital growth is higher in the south, but this is not true. Percentage capital growth is actually the same over the very long term. This chart of the UK shows the average annual housing growth over the past 70 years. On average, houses have doubled in value every 12 years, and the average annual increase has been around 7% in almost all areas of the UK. Even 50 years ago, houses in the south were 4 times more expensive than houses in the north, and this is still true today. However, growth may happen in spurts, and some areas may grow at a faster rate than other areas over a short period of time. For example, London grew really well and recovered much faster in the 10-year period after the financial crisis in 2008. You can see this historically, but predicting with any certainty which area is going to grow better in the future is not possible. Many experts think that in the future, the percentage capital growth in the next 10 years is likely to be higher in the north than in the south. Post-COVID, the economy has changed, allowing many people to work from anywhere. And many of the towns and cities in the north that were depressed in the past are now doing well economically, with falling unemployment, increasing population, and rising housing demand. Many people are moving from south to north due to lower cost of living, and investors are also switching from south to north. So I would tend to agree that it is likely that growth in the north will be higher than the south over the next 10 years. Let's now talk about the other factors. Firstly, affordability. This is a clear reason for buying in the north. Properties in the north are on average 4 times cheaper than the south, so they're more affordable, even without a mortgage. Risks are also lower in the north. For the same budget, for example, £300,000, investors could buy 4 houses in the north instead of 1 in the south. So this allows you to diversify and reduce risks, as all the eggs are not in one basket. If there is a problem with one tenant, or if one property is vacant or in need of repair, it doesn't affect the others, and investors still continue to get income. Your risk may also be lower with low-cost properties in the north should there be a recession. Lower-cost properties, which are already at rock-bottom prices, are likely to fall less than more expensive properties, as there's always demand at the lower end of the market, and such demand actually increases in a recession when everyone is cost-cutting and looking for smaller properties to buy or rent. Let's talk about mortgages. When interest rates are low, then leveraging your money by borrowing has been the best investment strategy in the past. However, with high interest rates, the advantage is less. And now it's becoming very difficult to buy in the south with a buy-to-let mortgage because of the low net rental yields. The sums may not add up, as the interest can be higher than the net rent, giving investors negative cash flow, which means mortgage lenders won't lend. As interest rates fall, this will become easier, but interest rates are not going to fall to the previous low levels. In the north, it's still possible to use buy-to-let mortgages as yields are higher. Now, many clients want to build a portfolio of low-cost houses in steps over time and do it in a low-risk way without mortgages or paying interest. They can only do this in the north, where each property is cheaper. There's also deals such as this 2-step process, where they buy a very low-cost house for £40,000, get income and growth, and continue saving, and then upgrade to a larger house as funds allow, for example, after 3 years. Then restart the process to get the next property. It takes longer to build a portfolio, but whilst interest rates remain high, this is a good strategy, especially for those who don't want to use mortgages or do not qualify, such as investors from overseas. This is only possible in the north. Properties in the north also give you more flexibility in that you can sell one and keep the others if you need some money. Whereas if you only have one expensive property, the options are limited. So in summary, when comparing properties in the north with the south, the percentage rental yields are better in the north, but total maintenance costs may be higher and there may be more tenant issues and vacancy. The overall net yield is still higher, almost double, and buy-to-let mortgages can still work. Percentage capital growth over the long term is historically similar, but growth in the next 10 years may be better in the north. And because properties in the north are cheaper, they're more affordable, have lower risk, are easier to mortgage, and provide more flexibility. My personal view is that it depends on if you're an active investor or a passive investor. If you're an active investor and can deal with property renovation and lettings, then buying locally near where you live may be a better option for you. So if you're living in the south and have enough funds, then buying locally in the south may be better. You could more easily deal with maintenance and tenant issues yourself and maintain your net yield. However, if you plan to be a passive investor and have a good managing agent, then you have less property, tenant, and liability issues to worry about. In this case, the north will be better for you. No matter where you live, north, south, or outside the UK, the north will give you a better return on investment. And here I will bring in our channel sponsor, Find UK Property, which is a business I founded.
Hi, at Find UK Property, we buy freehold houses, renovate them to a decent standard and rent them out to good tenants. We then sell them to passive investors whilst managing and maintaining them fully. Please watch these videos to learn more. We deliver 7% net rent and long-term growth in value. The owners don't need to do anything, have no costs or liabilities, and can be living anywhere in the world. Visit our website at findukproperty.com.